Hey everybody, it is Kit here. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to the Brooks Legacy. We are with Generation 3, Cayson, and Cayson is going to bring us this week transitioning from the fall semester into the winter season. So from fall to winter, and then Lucia will be a bit of an odd one because I don't have as many pictures and they're more spread out over 2 or 3 seasons, and I'm just going to do all of them because quite frankly I don't really 100% remember. I want to say most of them are in the winter, but I don't 100% remember, so I'm just going to do them all and we'll let that be that. So yeah, this is exciting. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this and I hope y'all are having a good week. Let's dive on in. Cayson was doing just fine at the tail end of the autumn semester. He made that phone call to his family. Finally. Cayson thought he had called, honest, but he hadn't. But he did now. They all met at a cafe in Windenburg. It was great to see his parents and Oscar. Oscar was still a bit upset by their failed university grades. Cayson did his best to joke around and cheer his little brother up. Hey, chin up, bud. It happens. University is hard, Oscar. You'll knock it out of the park in the spring, though. You're too smart not to. And Cayson meant every word. Sayala had grown up a good bit since he'd seen her last time, too. Cayson was even slightly happy to see her. He didn't really hate her. Never really had. Sayala was more like a roommate in Cayson's mind that lived in his family's home. Was that bad? Cayson felt nervous when in his dad's presence. Being near his dad, well, that's why Cayson had taken a hit before coming. Just one, and it was something small. Just enough to give him some confidence. Cayson hadn't seen his dad in a long time. But the visit went well, and then Cayson was in the clear. Just waiting. The nerves were hitting hard this week. Grades were coming soon. Cayson had studied, right? He'd done his schoolwork and attended classes. Surely he'd be fine. Cayson remembered going and putting in effort. Oh. The grades hit all right. Cayson, he did not do so good. 2 F's and a C. Cayson was now on probation, as were his friends. The big P. That word and the weight it carried followed Cayson all the way back to Windenburg, where he would be staying for the winter. He politely declined his mom's invitation to go home, saying he was helping Ethan renovate his fixer-uppers still. Probation. That was not good, was it? But it was just one bad semester, really. He'd be fine. Cayson was always fine. It was his #1 motto. In fact, Cayson had a really good idea. But first, it was time for the end of semester party. He made sure to invite Big Muscle Panda, Oscar, and their college buds to the club. Although a really pretty friend of Lucia's was staring directly at Panda, yet all Panda could do was stare at Cayson. And Cayson really wished Panda wouldn't do that. But there was no time to worry about the unfortunate news or dwell on his idea. Cayson's girl had come to the party. Lucia, oh man. She grew even prettier every time he saw her. Dang it, man. There was no DJ Cayson could request a song from, though. He wanted to dance to one specific one with his girl. But at least the music was bopping. Maybe that romantic strain he had been feeling was all in his head, because Lucia was all smiles for him all night. Cayson just might be in love. The party went well, infinitely better than everyone's semesters had, and in bright spirits the next day, Cayson put his plan into action. He would just do a wintermaster. He'd retake some classes he hadn't done so well on, and Ethan's home was so much better than the campus frat house. Yeah, Cayson could relax and focus here a lot easier. So with winter in the countryside, Cayson got to work, determined to overcome this little hurdle. And another bonus of being at Ethan's was Cayson could focus on content creation more. He still wanted to be a big celebrity chef after all, and he hadn't really done any cooking streams lately. But don't worry, he fixed that. But not everyone was enjoying the brisk snow. Jeffrey wished he was in Oasis Springs. Lucia came by once to see him. Yeah, that romantic strain was totally in his head. They were chill. Of course, Cayson was napping when she arrived, but thankfully one of his friends let her in. He's been up at all sorts of odd hours lately, studying and making videos. Well, mostly making videos, but he's still doing all of the chef studying in the kitchen, and that's the most important part anyway. But soon Cayson woke up, and then he and Lucia were talking. And Lucia was not that impressed with the fancy bubble blower they had. Kay, why do you have a bong? It's not mine, it's Caden's. And it's a bubble blower, like from the old days. Nothing bad about it. But Cayson didn't offer her any of the bubbles. He knew she wouldn't like it. But what Cayson offered instead was a bit more hands-on. Yeah. Cayson really liked Lucia. Maybe even the big L word. Had he ever said that to her? Officially? How long had they been together? Or not really? Because Cayson hadn't really ever asked her out, had he? Had he? His memory was all jumbled. But maybe the snow was magical, or it was the company. But maybe this year, well, next year, could be the year Cayson really changes himself. Cayson needed to do better for Lucia, to be worthy. No, that wasn't right. He was worthy. He was Cayson Brooks. Cayson didn't want to go so far as to say that any girl would be lucky to have him, but he had enough of an ego to think it. But Lucia, she was special. Lucia made Cayson feel alive, confident, strong, and not so lost. When Lucia was around, everything felt right. Because, unfortunately, Cayson was feeling lost. He wasn't sure who he was anymore. It sounded so freaking stupid and dramatic. He was fine, but he wasn't. He was fine when Cayson was on things. Things he had promised he wouldn't be on any longer last semester. Cayson couldn't help it, though, because he didn't feel so out of sorts when he was on it. He didn't really want to stop. It was terrifying without it. And when he was on it, he felt in control. He was in control. All Cayson had to do was maintain that control. Use this euphoric state to his advantage and not get swept away. It was feeling all rather easy, honestly. Cayson didn't study too much, but he was studying, and he was feeling confident in what he knew. Confident enough that Cayson invited Lucia out on a date. He wanted to woo her, romance her in a way he had never done before. Cayson was serious about Lucia, honestly, and he was afraid she wasn't serious about him. But then, just as things were going well, two things happened. One, Lucia suddenly started acting off and backing away, with a disappointed but shocked look on her face. Was it something Cayson had said? Was it his breath? He had taken a breath mint before showing up, right? As for the second thing, his phone rang. Lucia headed home before he took the phone call to the worst news of his life. Suspension. The big S. It was the university telling Cayson he was done. Suspended. For a whole semester. Why? Because he had failed his classes. Again. One too many times. Cayson had failed. Cayson went home in a daze, barely muttering a hi to his uncle as he passed him. Suspended. 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 That couldn't be... No. It couldn't... He didn't fail. He couldn't have... Could he? It had to be a mistake. Cayson wasn't quite sure how or why, but he ended up in Brightchester. Lucia was his comfort, and he wanted to apologize, or he wanted cuddles, or he didn't remember. He had no real idea of what they did. All he knew afterwards was that he had had a great time, and that he had apologized for whatever bridge he had broken with her. Something about his breath smelled wrong, or she had had a meeting, or she was graduating. Heck yes, great for her. This was awesome. He was not graduating yet, but it was a mistake. What had happened with him had everything was all jumbled and wrong. But Lucia, she was the only star in his sky. And whatever they had done, that had felt right. Oh, boy. Just when you thought maybe it can't get worse, here we go. First probation, then love, now suspension. Cayson is experiencing a plethora of emotions. And that's where I'm going to leave y'all to see Lucia's side of things tomorrow. Yep. Also, I should point out that I believe most everybody is ready to go into winter. I think I mentioned this before, but I think everybody is ready to go into winter. There may be one or two that I have pictures for from the fall. We're just going to take that into stride. Lucia notwithstanding, because I think I've got I don't know, a lot. I've not a ton of photos from a variety of times, and I don't exactly know when, because she was kind of one of those side characters. I'm like, am I not? What am I doing here? But then, well, y'all will understand. y'all might understand now. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Oh boy. That's all I'm gonna say. Bear with me now. Yeah, so with that is all of the pictures in my to be written folder for Cayson, which is exciting. So now I have to sort through the big jumbled folder to find any more photos, which I know I have. But yeah, my point being, we are getting closer and closer, you guys. So yeah, thank y'all so very much for watching and listening. I hope y'all got some enjoyment out of it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. There will be a surprise freeze drying video for this afternoon for those who are into that. And then there will be Lucia tomorrow. In the meantime, don't forget, where the water's slow, legacies grow. Bye!